We live from the Emerald City. It's a Dish with Deeva Show. Here she is, the one and only K-Cee Diva.
All right, there we go. Second time charmer.
That's so good.
Hey, peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Diva here. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Dish with Diva. I'm so excited to be here, sharing some laughs with my guests today because, you know, it's just been a wild week. It's been a wild week for your girl. Let me tell you that. And I did a whole intro, realized I hadn't hit the live button. You know, it happens. This is what happens with live shows, right? Jimmy, yes, I'm sure you can attest. All right, well, let me give my guest a proper introduction. I'm so excited to have him on today. He's a member of one of the hottest 80s cover bands in Seattle, Washington. They've been around for quite some time. They perform with artists like Billy Idol and some others, and I'm just so excited to have him on. Please help me welcome Mr. Jimmy Keys from the band Nite Wave. Jimmy, how you doing?
Hi, K-Cee. First of all, thank you for the intro, and thank you for having us. Thank you for having me represent Nite Wave. And to everyone watching live right now, thank you for tuning in. Glad to have you with us.
So. Yes, thank you. I echo that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to have you here, Jimmy. So for those who don't know, I used to do a show called Northwest Connection on Rainier Avenue Radio a couple years back, actually. And I had Michael Hendrickson. Shout out to Mike if he's watching. He was on the show representing Nite Wave, and we had a great time, lots of laughs. And, you know, I saw recently that you guys have a show coming up tomorrow night and Saturday night. And I hit you up and said, hey, come on and dish with me. Let's talk about it. It's been a long time since you've been able to do a live show, and I'm sure you're excited about it. So, you know, I was going to ask, how excited are you guys, Jimmy?
You know, excited, I think, is too common of a word to use. I think excitement. We're excited. We're nervous. We're what other words can I come up with, K-Cee? Excited. We're nervous. But we're just raring to go. You know, it's, you know, as someone who does live entertainment, and, you know, it's been over a year, K-Cee, as you just mentioned, dealing with COVID. And finally, you know, certain restrictions exist that allow us to play live, but safely. And for us to just be on stage and to deliver a show live to the fans who love to come to our shows is really it's really a treat and a blessing. So, you know, we hope all goes well, and we hope everyone who's coming to tomorrow night's show on Saturday, you know, has the great time that they're expecting, but being done safely, of course. So
yes. So let's just go ahead and dive in. You know, for fans that are coming to see you to perform live tomorrow or Saturday night, what can they expect as far as the protocols that will be put in place?
Well, thanks for bringing that up, K-Cee. Well, we're going to be playing at the Everett Historical Theater, and it's a large theater with theater seating. And so we were comfortable in conjunction with following, you know, Governor Inslee's guidelines and the current restrictions, and of course, you know, coordinating with the powers that be at Everett, that because of the large theater seating, that they could properly socially distance small groups to stay within the state mandates.
Okay.
You know, if you were, for example, for those of you who bought a ticket, as you would tell, you know, there was a big disclaimer about, you know, when you come to the show, you're going to have to stay in your seat. You know, your group can't be larger than 6 K-Cee. You've got to wear a mask. So the venue, you know, really, you know, is, I believe, you know, we had long discussions about it as a band, you know, and we would not have done the show, K-Cee, if we didn't feel that, given that we're kind of we're in between like phase 2 and about to go into some type of modified phase 3.
Right.
You know, we felt that given what a large theater seating venue could offer in terms of providing those protections, for lack of a better word, we said, let's do it. You know, it's been over a year. You know, the fact that the first show sold out in one day tells you that people, you know, they want to get it. So, yeah.
Yay. I'm so excited to hear that for you guys. The first one day, that's amazing. That shows that people actually missed you, your fans missed you, and they're excited to be Because the thing about, Nite Wave, for those who don't know, first of all, if you're an 80s kid or if you're just in the 80s music period, like these guys are like top notch. I mean, you guys can play any song, sing any song, just see your performances on stage, you engage with your audience. And that's not something you can recreate on video. You don't do that for so long and so much. So being able to see you in person is going to be such a treat for them. So I'm excited for the fans. I'm excited for you guys. So let's just go back a little ways.
Sure.
For those who don't know, how did you all come together? How did Nite Wave come about?
How much time do we have? Well, I'll give you the brief. K-Cee, we've been together as a band since 2011. And in fact, this June, keep our fingers crossed, we're hoping to have our 10th anniversary show in front of a live audience. Again, that's to be determined. But later on this year, we're trying to organize whatever platform it may be on our 10-year anniversary show. But yeah, we all got together. It was kind of a mishmash of things, like Mike Henriksen, who and our other keyboardist and bassist, Evan Galt, it was kind of like Evan's brainchild early on. And it was sort of like it started off as a Craigslist ad from Evan saying, hey, I want to get this 80s band idea started. Mike responded. I remember I was in my condo by myself. I hope the crowd is okay with me admitting this. I was probably, I don't know, on my second bottle of wine, just kind of bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on Craigslist. No, but music, right? And and then I saw the ad and I was like, well, I was like, oh, that sounds, I'd love to do that. And that, and then of course you trade emails, you come out, and then it just kind of synergistically, we all got together. We all, if you want to call it a tryout, K-Cee, I don't know what you would call it, but we all went to go see Evan individually, played the instrument, sang, and then, within 2 months, we were like, okay, I think we've got our lineup. And it just kind of took off from there.
Wow. Now how many band members is it?
There are 5 of us, K-Cee.
5 of you total. Okay. Yeah. And now, so now what, do you sing vocals and what instrument do you play?
Well, I play primarily keyboard with, I used to play some bass, but now I'm just strictly on keyboards. I do a lot of backing vocals. I may have 1 or 2 songs that I sing lead on, but I'm mainly on keyboards, providing backing vocals and letting Mike do his thing and letting the other guys do their thing. And, and it mixes well. So it's a formula that works.
So I got a question, because you guys always, being an 80s band, you always dress the part as well. So now, do you have that wardrobe hanging up in your closet from the 80s, or do you actually go out and buy that stuff?
That's a great question, K-Cee. I'll be honest, I buy it because the stuff that did fit me in the 80s doesn't fit me anymore.
I was going to be impressed. I was like, wow.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like, as far as the 80s gears, K-Cee, there's a lot of places that actually will sell that now. The other guys in the band would tell you that, surprise, surprise, it's been surprisingly easy to get 80s gear if you just go to the right websites and you know your size, right? So, but yeah, no, I don't really have anything 80s in my closet that I've kept from years back.
Right.
But I do have a drawer of a bunch of stuff that's just simply dedicated for the Nite Wave shows. Sure.
Love it. So now, so you guys have probably since 2011. Wow, that's a long time. What would you say has been your biggest challenge? A lot of times, the music industry, it goes up and down and up and down. What are some of the challenges you guys face and have overcome since then?
Oh wow, another great question. I would say right now, and maybe I guess it's just the songs we want to choose. We've got a very large catalog, and we try to do what other bands do. I mean, if you're covering the 80s, you want to play songs that's easily relatable to anyone in the crowd. And even folks who aren't familiar with 80s, some of that music is pervasive enough. You hear it on a commercial, right? And So because we've got 5 guys who have very strong opinions on what the right song is, right? And that's what the challenge is, and I don't want to call it, it's a good, I wouldn't call it a challenge, but it's kind of they become what I call funny arguments between the band.
Gotcha.
And then early on when we were going, K-Cee, the challenge was just trying to find venues that were willing to take a chance on us.
Interesting.
Right? So when you start off, you know what songs you want. You pick all the obvious hits that were the biggest hits, but then the challenge was just trying to get our foot in the door and get venues to give us a chance to play, right?
Right.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, it's now just trying to, come to agreement on songs that we all,
there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many. So
there's so many great 80s songs. Let's see, I got a comment here. Hey, Anthony Adams, he says, yep, 80s gear never goes out of style. I agree.
Absolutely.
Anthony actually is, I do a couple shows with Anthony. I do, do you watch 90 Day Fiance, Jimmy?
Pardon me?
Yeah, have you seen the show 90 Day Fiance?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, it's a reality show, and anyway, it's quite quirky. But Anthony and I do a kind of a recap show after that show airs, and then we do each one of my recap crew that I was telling you earlier. So shout out to him. But anyway, so so you've performed in a lot of different venues, throughout Washington. Which do you have anyone that's your favorite venue that you guys perform at? Anyone sticks out?
Any favorite? You know what? I'm gonna say I've liked all the venues. I mean, I'm a musician at heart, K-Cee, and every venue that we've played at has been incredibly nice to us and worked with us. And so for me, every venue is a favorite. They're all different. Some are larger, but the shows that stick out obviously are the ones that where we've actually had a chance to play with actual 80s, people who were involved, like 80s, like again, opening up for Billy Idol back in 2012, for example.
That's huge. That's huge.
And and then sharing the stage with Tiffany. And I don't know if you're familiar with Clive Farrington from When in Rome. Playing sharing the stage with Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's. So those are the things that stick out because there's a little bit of some validation when you actually have those particular celebrities, not having a worry about sharing the stage with you and playing their music. So those stick out,
And talk about a little bit about like how do those opportunities come about? Like, do you just know someone that knows someone, or did you audition for them?
Great question. And that I'll say this: the next time you can interview our rock star lead vocalist Mike Hendrickson, he's the guy to tell you. He is
all those answers.
Marketing and connection genius. Mike, if you're watching this, he is a marketing. He's got that in terms of how to get in touch with folks. And it's great. So
and that's really the key, right? The marketing is key. I mean, you just have to just keep yourselves out there, and like you said, getting venues to take a chance on you and getting your name out there. And you guys have certainly built, a stellar reputation and a fan base, over the years, that has really paid off for you as well. So what is your, do you have a favorite 80s song that you like to perform, like a personal favorite?
A personal favorite that I like to perform. Gosh, again, well, no, hold on. Anything that's heavy on the keys, like Aha or Tainted Love, where the keyboard is, front and center, predominant line. Selfishly as a keyboardist, you like to hear, you like to take the lead on those songs. Gosh, all the songs are great. I mean, it's just when you're on stage and you're just playing all those songs back to back, it's just like this pervasive energy that just where every song just feels the same, and you feel the energy from the audience. And did I answer that question right for you? Do I have a favorite? I don't know, because they're all I love all.
Too many to name. I feel you. There's a lot going on in the 80s. for sure. It's hard to pick one, but,
Yeah.
but that's fair. Like, you know, the songs that kind of highlight the keyboards because that's your thing, you
Yes.
know. So now what about like how did you get started playing the keyboards? Like growing up, did you have anyone that was already in the business that you kind of looked up to or modeled after, or how'd you get your start?
Good. Well, I when I was younger, you know, I remember I took guitar lessons, right? And my sister was taking piano lessons, and we had this piano in our home, and so I would just kind of dibble and dabble. I'd go from playing guitar to playing piano, and you know, I didn't stick with the lessons very long, but I stuck with them long enough that I had a bass. And
Okay.
I was one of those kids, K-Cee, where I was alone in my room. I'd take my guitar and I just sling it on my lap, and I would just, you know, and you would just, you know, play music and try and play along. And I would do the same thing on the piano. I just sit and I just, you know, I play a line and like, hey, that sounds like, and then I just try and figure the song out. And then
wow.
I just kind of kept that skill and made sure that, you know, every year of my existence, I was always trying to just play. And, yeah. And so I'm not classically trained. I don't have, you know, no one in my family was in the business, so to speak. But if mom and dad, if you're watching or, you know, or listening, thank you for giving me those guitar lessons. So,
Nice.
you know, and thanks to my sister for being a pretty good pianist when she was younger.
Aww.
You know, I was like, I'm the older brother. I got to be able to play too, right?
Right.
So
I love it. I love it.
Background in a nutshell. So
I think self-taught is even more amazing, right? Because to be able to sit down and you know hear a song and you know be able to know what chords and you know keys to play, I think that's amazing in itself for sure.
yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
How has you know social media has so you started in 2011, you know, social media came about and how has it helped or hindered or you know it hasn't helped you guys, you know, maybe kind of if we're talking about marketing and that platform, has it helped you in all of the years and it's still a good, you know, resource?
Yeah, you know, the social media platforms. I mean, if you look back again, 2011, 2012, 2013, as you would attest, K-Cee, right? That's when it started to really kind of ramp up, right? So yeah, I mean, as bad a knock as, you know, as social media may get sometimes, right? As far as for the exposure and the business of the band, it's been nothing but a great you know, because how else would you reach people? How else would you know, share highlights with them from your shows or share show information, right? You know, everyone who's tuning in tonight, you know, they gotta, you know, they got Instagram or Facebook or something like, right? So, yeah, it's the social media. And again, I'll give my kudos to our lead vocalist, Mike Henriksen, because, you know, he handles all that stuff and he was really on top of the ball very early on. You know, that's not my forte. I mean, I'm on social media platforms, but, you know, other than like typing stuff and posting a picture, that's about as good as I'm at.
Right. Yeah, it takes time. It takes time. I do on my own social media and it takes a lot of time and energy to do it, you know, and hit all the platforms and, you know, get the clips up and all that. So I totally get it.
But Mike, like I said, you know, we were very blessed to have guys in the band who really specialize at certain things. And like I said, Mike just knew, he just knew how to get all that stuff set up and grow it. And yeah, so
the show tomorrow night and Saturday night. Saturday's completely sold out. Are there's still some few tickets left for tomorrow night?
Left for tomorrow night's show. Yes.
Okay. So what can, you know, without giving the whole show away, you know, give us a teaser. What can fans expect to see?
Well, tomorrow night, well, actually, both nights we're going to be debuting a couple new songs that we've been working on. You know, and we have a couple of songs, K-Cee, that we've played to a virtual audience, but haven't played live, which we always felt these newer songs that we've been playing recently would have a much bigger organic effect to a live audience. So and again, because we haven't played live in front of an audience, K-Cee, in over a year.
Sure.
I anticipate the energy of the band is just you know, who knows? We might even take the stage too early. I have no idea. We're just so ramped up, and especially with some of the comments we've been getting, K-Cee, from the folks who said they're coming to the show. You can feel the energy and like in the social media responses and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, I just think, you know, we're still understand we're still in phase 2 with some type of modified phase 3 to be announced. So you know, we want let's all have a great time. Let's still follow the mandates. You know, there are still restrictions in place in the live show. Please follow them, and let's have a great time and have a great and safe time. And you know, we're going to get through this, right? We're going to get through
Yes.
So,
absolutely. Well, now where can people still get tickets for tomorrow night show?
Well, if you can go to the Everett Historical Theater website. I know that Mike on the Nite Wave Facebook and Instagram pages, Mike has posted the link.
Okay.
So if if you still have an opportunity to get on that link and get tickets so you can, please don't quote me on this, even though I'm going to say it live. But I got the impression some people were probably going to show up at the venue to the box office. But again, I would strongly suggest if you can just get online and get those few remaining tickets for tomorrow night. You know, if you feel last minute you want to catch a show, come on out. So
okay, cool. And I'll go after this show. I'll grab the link and put it on my page as well. So people are watching the show, they can just click on the link and get your tickets. Well, it's been so much fun talking with you, Jimmy. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you guys the best of luck tomorrow. I know you'll be amazing, as you always are. The fans are very excited. And I'm excited to have you back on.
Well, listen, and on behalf of the band, thank you for having us on, letting me be on with you. And to everyone watching online, give this lady some love. Spread the word about her show. You know, it's a blessing to have these types of, venues available for not just band, but for yourself. But best of luck on your end. And I'm hoping this isn't the last interview that we do. I don't want to call it an interview, but I hope to see you again soon.
Yes, absolutely. You definitely will see me again soon. Absolutely. We'll have you guys back on. I'd love to do that later in the year and catch up and
Awesome.
see, because by then he'll be full steam ahead, right?
Fingers crossed, K-Cee. Fingers crossed.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching tonight. Be sure to catch me again next week for Dish with Diva at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hit me up on social media, IG, K-Cee Diva. I'm on Facebook, Dish with Diva page on Facebook as well. And don't forget, every first Thursday of the month, I do a show called Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Diva. And that's where we, myself, Anthony Adams, Princess Robin, K-Cee, Kurt Clayton, who's actually a member of the legendary Confunction Band. We get together and we chop it up about all the crazy entertainment stories that have happened throughout the month. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Be safe, and we'll see you guys next week. All right?
Thank you, K-Cee. Have a great night. All the best to you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.